All right. Hey, Aaron, thanks for getting on here with me today. I wanted to go through really just a few questions and have a real conversation with you about you and about Gamechanger and how that's all meshed together. So let me first just have you talk about who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, and really the length of time in practice would be cool to know, as well as your length of time in Gamechanger. Let's just start there.
Yeah. I'm Dr. Aaron Cain and originally from Colorado. And right now, my practice is Impact Family Chiropractic, and we're located just north of Austin, Texas, in Round Rock. And we opened practice in October of 2017. So we're coming up on close to 3 years. And as far as Game Changer, I went to my inaugural Game Changer event in October of 2018, and I believe it was right after we celebrated 1 year in practice. So it was very, very early and fresh in that equation.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, and there's make no bones about it, you're absolutely crushing it for being in practice not even 3 years. So um, ever since I've known you, you've been crushing it. But again, I have trouble even believing it's only been a few years, and even a couple years, not even quite 2 years since we got to know each other at that first event. But I really, what was life and business like before Game Changer? Because again, like I said, in practice, I mean, you were already accelerating and doing well, but just talk to where you were, what was working. You can talk about that a little bit. But what I'm interested to know also is what wasn't working.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this kind of goes back to the story of, just coming across Game Changer, period, because for you and I, we didn't know each other beforehand. And so the first year of practice was nothing like I expected it to be. And, I've been a part of some practice management groups, and I just remember it was a late night, maybe 4 days before the event in October. And I was kind of at a tough spot. And so, yeah, practice was by most measures, it was, growing, but I was tanked and I wasn't sleeping at night. And I was basically surviving off of massive levels of caffeine and then some drinks at night. So I had to speed the body up in the morning, and then I had to do something to calm it down at night. And in order to kind of get to the spot where we were in that first year, it was 7 days a week, my wife and I trying to do everything on our own. I remember, Alana and I, my wife, at that point, we had our firstborn son, Braden. And I remember not being present in the home. And my mentality was, I need to build a business. And in order for me to be a good father and be a good husband, I just need to provide them with more money. And I need to build this business because that's our security blanket. So Alana and I had very few conversations outside of the business. Like I said, some of my quality time with my son was bringing him to the practice while I was working, Sunday mornings. And so I just remember being there one night and scrolling through Facebook. I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, not being able to sleep. And I was gassed. And in all honesty, I was looking for a weekend away from everything. And I didn't really care what it was. It could have been a big toe adjusting seminar. And I probably would have, signed up for it because I just didn't know where to go. And I knew that the path that I was on was not sustainable. It wasn't sustainable for my body and my energy levels. It wasn't sustainable with my relationship with my family. And I just didn't know how to slow down. I didn't know where to go, and I didn't know how to make any course corrections with the way things were going.
Yeah, that sounds eerily familiar to parts of my life for sure. And so from that point, when you joined, and it was great, obviously, that you came in 2018 and we got to know each other pretty in depth over those couple of days as things roll out. What's been the biggest change for you?
Yeah, that's tough because it's been a lot. And, right off the bat, I think my natural tendency is to start talking about revenue and the practice growth because it's been substantial. I mean, the practice is more than doubled. We've added doctors, we've added CAs, we're getting ready to build a new building. I mean, all of that stuff is fantastic. But if I was being truthful and I was sharing my heart with everyone, it's my relationship with Alana. It's been the improvement with my relationship with the kids, and it's been the balance of my life. And if I was even being more truthful than that, it's that when I look at myself in the mirror, I like the person that I'm seeing, and I like the direction that I'm moving personally as a person, as a business owner, as a dad, as a husband. It seems almost cliche, but I just remember some mornings brushing my teeth and not wanting to even look up because I knew I was going to see the bags under my eyes, and I knew that it was just the slow burnout. So for me right now, it's being comfortable with where we're at, and I like the man that I'm becoming, and it's probably the first time in my life that I can truly say that. And as a byproduct of that is the relationships and the business and everything else that's growing around me.
Yeah, when you talk about that, I mean, and obviously it's cool, and you've done a ton of work. Listen, make no mistake about it, both in business and all through all the areas of your life. But so, what are a couple of the key tangible benefits? It's so hard sometimes for people to grasp. It's challenging to put value on it, and
Yeah.
so we do look at the dollars. And I'm a big proponent of talking about the dollars straight up, really forthright and being clear on that. But what are some of the other tangible things that you could describe?
Yeah. So one of the number one things tangibly is communication with my wife, and her saying, since you've joined Gamechanger, our relationship has exponentially improved. That's a tangible thing. If we're talking, tangibly as far as finances and in business and some of those different types of things, after the first Gamechanger event, there were some key areas that we discovered that I was stuck in the business. And you and I have talked about, I mean, I came home, we made massive business shifts. I mean, in one stinking night, I came home, I was crying, and I just felt like, I got to the core of some things. We made some massive shifts. And like I said, the business has doubled, and we have a foundation of money that was constantly worrying about money and all these different types of things. And so I think if I was going to go across this tangible list, there's just so much that has been added to life, whether we're talking about my kids or whether we're talking about my relationship with Alana, being able to provide her with the foundation that she truly deserves and that she truly wants. And also building a business where I feel like for the first time, we have a foundation of a business that can grow to wherever we want it in the future. And so I don't know if that specifically answers the question that you were asking, but it's so tough to put into words the tangible benefits, because we can look across the board and there hasn't been really one aspect of my life that hasn't been substantially changed in these last almost 2 years.
Awesome. No, well, I think those are definitely tangible things that you're mentioning, and so I appreciate you going there. And of course, I gotten to observe all the work that you put in and Alana's put in, and just your entire team that you're building. So let's make no mistake. You're a guy who is getting back. You're not a sideline player, and honestly, that's kind of the way we roll. And in that, what's one of your favorite things? What do you enjoy the most about Gamechanger for Aaron?
Yeah. So a couple things. And I think honestly, it's changed over time. At first, it was about, getting me right, and being okay with that, because me by nature, I want to make sure that everyone else is taken care of. And I've always put myself on the back burner as part of that equation. But at first, it was a group of men that came together and coming to the conclusion that it is okay for me to want to better myself and for me to want to spend time with myself, to become a better version of myself, to be a better business owner, a better chiropractor, better husband, a better father. On a tactical side of things, especially recently in these last months, the most amazing thing and the thing I enjoy most is our weekly calls. We have guys across the country with dozens of different systems in their office, different processes that they use. They serve different, geographic locations, different patient types within their office. And so having access to proven systems kind of across the chiropractic board and being able to have a weekly conversation and fine tune things on such a level that most won't understand has been massively valuable as far as the business is concerned. And so right now it's the camaraderie of doing life with men that I can trust and that I love. But I can also ask any question as far as the business is concerned or life in general, and being able to get, like I said, other men that have totally different operations and being able to meld those together into something that is fully congruent with me and my vision for the business is amazing.
Yeah, well, and you touched on it there. It's got to be congruent with you, and that's where I think a lot of people miss the mark. But if it's congruent with you, you can pull it off. If it's not, you're only going to pull it off if you can. It's only going to last for a certain amount of time, or you're going to get stuck. And so thank you for that. And of course, I have to, when I ask you about your favorite, one of my favorites has to be you in this crazy little band. Yeah. And what that signifies to the two of us from that very first experience. That's where it all started. So what would you say, Aaron? Again, you're a big influencer in your community. You're, again, have a tremendous business. You got everything going, especially at a young age. So that's all fantastic. What would you say to somebody that's checking us out that doesn't know what we do? And it's challenging sometimes to describe it, what we do and how it's unique and different. What would you say to them if they're sitting on the fence kind of going, I don't know if this is for me?
Absolutely.
How would you address that?
I would answer that in a couple of ways. Number one, one of the drawbacks for me initially and being transparent is, I had already utilized some other programs. And what's so hard is that this is not telling you exactly how to run your practice. And it's not here's a textbook and follow it step by step and make sure you say these exact things. And those are great. And I think it was wonderful and you need those types of things. But the biggest thing, like I said, is really twofold. Number one is that there was nothing that I currently had that focused on me in all areas of my life. Because, I could go in and I could slam a couple, Americanos, and I could go in, or Red Bull, and I could put on a smile and I could fake it with the best of them. But really deep down, I felt like it was a show a lot of the time because I wasn't living congruently with the other areas of my life. And so that's number one. Number two is the business is going to grow. You're going to make more money because, again, this isn't a textbook. It is a group of elite chiropractors. And when I say elite, not only do they make a ton of money, see a lot of people, impact their communities in a big, big way, they've done it for a long time. And so there's a sustainability in there. There's a foundation that's been built in there. And so having access to, like I said, doctors across the country with multiple systems, and there's nothing off the table as far as questions on whether you're opening practice, whether you're trying to jumpstart your practice, whether you're trying to, grow into something and you're transferring into something new. There's just so much access, accountability, and that you can get from dozens of doctors. And so for me right now, where I'm at, there's just nothing like that.
Cool. Well, thank you that. And in that, on that same vein, that's where you bring so much value into the group, because whether it's guys that have been in practice a while like me, or guys just getting started, or people in the middle that are doing great, or I say, they're good, but they want to be great and trying to figure that out, is you bring a ton of value for all that you've accomplished in a short period of time, the way that you consistently show up at home and in the practice, and many areas, right? You're wearing many different hats and you're doing it great. So thank you for being a big part of what you just referenced. And that's the way it works. It's everybody together. And that's why it's really, a brotherhood. And that's not just a word or a marketing thing. That's really what we're creating and have created. Continue to build on. So thank you as always for your time, your commitment, your energy. And hey, let's go find the next best version, right?
Love it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Thanks, Aaron. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.